Good morning. Today is Monday, August 10th, and we got a pretty full week of economic data coming up this week. So I expect things to be pretty volatile. We definitely had some pop in the marketplace, so we are getting in the little overbought area, but we'll see what happens here. So let's go over what we have for today. We have nothing on the docket for today. By the way, this is QOL pre-market analysis for today. Those of you that are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button like this video so you can get notifications on any other videos that I do. So getting into tomorrow, you've got unemployment change, existing home sales at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Wednesday is our big day here. We have core CPI month over month and year over year. And then on Thursday, core PPI month over month. And then also unemployment claims on Thursday. And then Friday, we finish off the week with retail sales. And then University of Michigan consumer sentiment. But as I've said before, I don't put too much weight in these numbers here. I just think that they're kind of politically driven there. So anyways, also down below, you can hit the links and you can go to our website here, put your name and email address in here so you can get a free subscription of our weekly newsletter that we put out. We just put out our 21st edition this Sunday. And in that edition, you get the week in review and what's to expect in the upcoming week. All right, so let's go over things right now. We'll start with the VIX. The VIX, definitely came down over the last middle of the week. And we got below this $15 number briefly on Friday. I like that. But, we got a little bit of a gap up here right now. I'm going to remove this. So we have a little gap up here. The 710 gap filled. Now we're going to have something here, and we'll call that a August 7th. So we're just going to change this. So that'll be something to be looking forward to. Also, if the market pops up a little bit, it'll come back down here and fill this gap here. We do have some gap downs. One at $17.59. We have some higher ones as well. So if the market does flush out at some point this year, which I will not be surprised if that happens, we have a gap down from April 8th at 25.74, and then there's one above that at $30.34. So if the market does flush and the VIX gets elevated up to these levels, that will probably tell you when it gets exhausted on the downside here. But you never know what kind of news will happen out there that could shock the market one way or the other, right? So let's look at oil. Oil's elevating a little bit right now. And we are, let me see what we got here. So we're kind of hovering below the 50-day moving average, sitting at $80.31 a barrel. We are above the 200 moving average at $76.54 a barrel. We do have this gap up still at $71.63 a barrel, but we are below the moving averages. So hopefully we don't spike above there. If we spike above there, then it's going to continue to move up and possibly move into the $89 a barrel, which is sitting at the 100-day moving average. So, right now gas prices are still elevated. I'm sure we all know. So we want to get this, below the 200-day moving average, so it can start hitting our pocketbooks in the right direction. So let's get over to the ES right now. ES, the 78.20.25 is high from August 5th. That is, I believe, all-time highs here. We can confirm that. Yep, that is all-time highs. So the only thing I have above that, if we can get above 78.20.25, I don't have anything that's going to give us a little bit of resistance till about 8,060. You'll obviously get some resistance at 8,000. That's a psychological number we talk about all the time. But down below here, we do have a nice level here that if we did flush out, I like this 76.32 level here. This will create a nice little speed zone that we have coming in a line right here. If we lose 77.27.89, I think we can flush back down to 76.32. Let's look at the SPY. The SPY is going to be very similar. SPY on the same thing, 776.85 all-time highs. Above that, I don't have anything until we get up into this higher end regressional trend line at 826. So I would not be surprised if you get a little bit of a flush today. We do have, I thought we had some open point controls. We do have an open point of control down here. Call it at 757. So you do have some good levels here. If we lose this 767.75 level, I think 760.40 would be a previous all-time high. Should come back down here for some decent support. We do have a gap up here from July 31st down at 744. That could be interesting as well, but we are above the moving averages. So your thesis should be pullback longs, even if the market flushes out hard. But the one thing you got to look at here, if we lose the 767.75, we could lose this whole upward move and come back down to the 760. Okay, let's look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq, same thing. All-time highs though on the Nasdaq. We're not close to it yet. It's 30,693, and you have that high of 30,000, a little over 30,000 on the 5th of last week. I would say you got to hold this 29,783 level. If you lose that level, you can come back down to that 50. It's sitting at 29,532.99. If you lose the 50-day moving average, I think you come back down to the 20-day moving average of 28,952. Above that, you do have some support at 29,666, which is May 13th low. But you can see right here, if we're going to start losing the 50 right here, this whole upward move could get retraced also. And then obviously below that 20-day, we do have a weekly low from May 12th, 28,740. And if we lose that, I think we can kind of flush down here to this 28,197, which is the 100-day moving average. On the upside, if you do get a break and hold above the 30,074, I think you can push back into all-time highs at 30,693, right? Above that, I don't have anything charted. I do have an upper end regression trend line at 31,987. So we are consolidating right now, so you have to watch what's happening there on the levels here. Let's just put up this new little price action thing that I have here. So this will be important here today. You want to hold this 29,564 level. If you lose that, I think we can potentially flush. You want to try to get above this level right here. This is 29,983. It's definitely showing some resistance and some reaction here. You can see what happened here on Thursday. Market popped up there and it really respected this 30,074. So important right now. We're looking at this 29,783.54 to hold. If we lose that level, then we can flush and probably test at least the lows from Friday. And if we lose the lows from Friday, you have the lows here from Thursday coming into play at 29,738. And then you have a week, May 13th low sitting at 29,066. Because all these moves right here, they could get just back end and filled, right? And then down here we have that last little speed zone down here at 28,336. So that would be a pretty significant flush if that happens here. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Take a look at the Qs. Qs, same thing. If you can't get above the 726.39. These other levels here, you've got that Thursday high at 728.56. Actually, I think it was Wednesday's high. Excuse me. 728.54. If you do pop above that and you can get above Wednesday's high, I think you can push into the 737.43 level. Above the 737.43 level, you can push back into the all-time highs of 748.65. On the downside today, I think your line in the sand, you're going to want to hold the 719.32. If you lose that, 711 is the next line of defense that I have down here. It's a low from June 12th. And then below that, you have a July 20th high of 705.80, which I actually like this level better. It's a break and retest of a high versus a break and retest of a low. Break and retest of highs I like better for support than a low. So if you come back down here and it starts flushing down to this low here, I would be careful. And even though you did get some good support off of this level, you have to watch it. I think probably get some support at 713.90. So watch those levels there. Okay, let's get into the Mag 7. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video for me. I appreciate that. NVIDIA, good, nice movement we're having in NVIDIA right now, but you got, could be flushing a little bit right now. 221.60 is a level that you're going to want to hold today. If we lose that, 216.83 is a midline regressional trend line. I don't mind that if you pull back into that level for some support. Below that, you have a July of this year high. So I like this better. Just like I said before on the Qs, I like a break and retest of the highs better than the lows. So Got a hold 221.60 today. If you lose that, I think 216.83 could possibly be in the picture. Above this 225.58, you could if you can pop and hold above that, I think you move into June's highs at 235, right? Above 235, you have all-time highs sitting at 241. Okay, let's get into Apple. Apple, since its earnings, has been kind of flushing a little bit. So let's see what Apple does here. You've got some speed zones that are being created all over the place. It's kind of sloppy a little bit right now. Had an open point of control here from the 5th. It just got filled in pre-market. If you look at our point of controls, I had plotted this before the day started. We did not hit there on Thursday, did not hit there on Friday, but now we are filled here. So we are filled today, and I'm going to mark that down as filled 8. So that will be a decent line here for us if you hold that level. However, I do have a nice regressional trend line here from October of 2025. If you pull back here, I don't mind this long on at 307.57. If you lose that 307.57, I don't have anything until we get down here to this 301.97 level. So today, not looking upside unless you can regain this big, nastiness that we had here in the close from Friday, 313.33. So we are getting some flush right now. It's down about $4 in pre-market, so it's looking like it may flush at the beginning of the day. So watch yourself there on Apple. Meta. So Meta, we're below the 100-day. It's respecting the 100-day moving average, sitting at, call it 608.91, and then you have the 20-day sitting at 612.27. So as long as we're below these moving averages, I would not be thinking long. It doesn't necessarily mean that we won't plow through those levels. But if you do get through the 20-day moving average, I have something here. It's 618.70, which is May 23rd's low, where you could get some pop and fade into that area. And then as far as point of control levels, we do have a point of control that's open, still open from Friday, from Thursday. No, I think Wednesday. Pardon me. 583.27 down here. So that level is still open. You saw an Apple that already filled in pre-market, and right now Meta is still holding up right now. So we are above the 50-day moving average. If you continue to hold that 50-day moving average, maybe you can move over that 100-day and 20, which could be consolidating and sitting here, caught in between your moving averages. 50-day moving average sitting at 600, 100-day moving average sitting at 609, call it 60, yeah, call it 609. And then you have the 20-day sitting at 612.27, the 200-day moving average sitting all the way up at 631.30. Okay, let's go Google. Google, beautiful speed zone that we have here from last Wednesday, right? So if Google, here's what I think on Google right now. If you get above 363 and hold, 363.09 and hold, I'd like us to push all the way back here and recover this entire speed zone up to 373.60. Uh, we are flushing down a little bit. You have the 100-day and the 20-day moving average sitting right at 347.92. So if you flush down to those levels, I would not be surprised if you get a little bit of a bounce there. However, I have some better levels if we do lose those for some support. 344.12 to 341.98. 344.12 is a high from June 26th. And the 341.98 is an FMOC high at 341.98. So what we talk about all the time, break and retest to those levels. Oh, excuse me. Amazon. Amazon's been kind of sloppy right now. I would say, where are we now? Here we are above the 20 and the 50-day moving averages. 20 is sitting at 251.59. So you're still same thesis. You're looking for pullback longs, but Amazon looks like it could potentially be consolidating right now. And when you consolidate, for a period of time, the breakout move is going to be a little better here, right? So let's just see where we're at here. Yeah, so you had a nice move on Amazon right now, and it just looks like it's sitting in this consolidation pattern here. Got to hold this 270.73. If you lose the 270.73, I don't have anything until we get to 262.07. And then on the upside here, if you can get above 278.31, I'd like us to push back and recover this entire move that we had here last Wednesday up into this upper regressional trend line sitting at 282.38. Above the 282.38, we could possibly move back into all-time highs, 287.20. On the downside here, this 270, 73 is going to be the line in the sand probably all week, right? You do have some economic data that can flush things out. And then don't forget about these, big speed zones that we have over here. So if it does flush, it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, when we get to this level, let's buy immediately. You have to watch the price action, because if the price action pushes through these levels hard, then there's a good chance that you do some back end filling on this big upward move that we had here on July 30th, right? But we are above the moving averages. So the 20-day is sitting at 251, 251.59. The 50-day is sitting at 247.57. And the 100-day is sitting at 245.89. 200 moving average is 236.54. So pullback longs, not bad. You just have to read the price action as it gets closer to your target price. And let's go to Microsoft. Microsoft may be caught in between this range here, 493.50 to 506. Got to get above this 506 level. If you get above the 506 level, it's an October of 2025 low. This will be a pretty significant level. If you can get above that, then you can move to the September of 2025 highs, 519.30. And if you can get above the 519.30, then possibly you can push back to all-time highs at 555.40, 45. If you lose 403.50, which is December's high of last year, I think that this whole move that we had here on Thursday could get retraced and possibly come down. You could actually pull back all the way to this June 26 high, right? 472.21. To me, if you're a patient trader, which you should be, that's the ideal long for me, is down here at 472.21. Either down here at 472.21 or a break and hold above the 506. Break and hold above the 506, which is an October low. You could see what happened on Friday. Rejected it, not quite, but real close. Then you push up to the 519.30. So long break and hold above here, or long all the way down here, 572.21. Now you can also take your shorts too, right? If you lose this high of 493.50, then you could take your shorts with your stop just above it. But in an uphill, uptrending market, you want to look for pullback longs, right? Let's just fix this here. See where we are on our moving averages. Our moving averages are well below here, right? 423.84 is your 20-day moving average. Yeah, it's in the 200 is above the 20, which is even more bullish, right? Anyways, same thing. Got to get above 506 to push to 519. In my eyes, got to hold this 593.50. If you lose 593.50, maybe you flush back down here to 472.21. SpaceX had a nice little move last week on SpaceX. You had some lockup that was done, some more volatility, more volume and liquidity coming to the market, which is good. I'm hoping at some point that we're going to get some decent liquidity for the option side. I haven't looked at it lately, but after Monday now, I'm going to start looking at the options, seeing if we have some liquidity in the SpaceX options here. So big level here to hold today. 135 was the low of the opening day when it first opened up. If you can hold above this 135, maybe you push back into this 143.33 level. If you lose 135, we have an open point of control here from Friday at 129.22, where you should get some support, right? Also the 716 low at 130 and 80 cents. If you lose this point of control, then I think you pull back down here to this filled point of control at 123.61. We are above the 20-day moving average, which is interesting. It's the first time that SpaceX has been above the moving averages since the first couple of days of trading. So pullback longs would not be a bad thing, but you still have to watch out for this being a speed zone here. So, there's a pretty good chance if you pull back to this 20, you could lose the 20 as well, because we do have an open point of control here also from Thursday at 810.53, right? You see that we had an open point of control that was created. And the market did not come back and touch that level, so we leave that as an open point of control. We have a whole bunch of open point of controls above us, though, too, so that's promising. 148.04 is an open point of control, and then I think we have one here sitting way up here at 198, so that'll be on the charts for a little bit, right? Okay, let's get into Tesla. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video. And where's my Tesla charts? Here we go, Tesla. Beautiful speed zone that we have. We're trying to get into it right now. We are I had this level here. This is the like the beginning of the speed zone that we're in right now, but not really getting that oomph that I'm looking for right now. So I'm thinking you got to get above. This is going to be a big level, 337.24. If you get above the 337.24, I think you could push into 347.17. We are getting some resistance. We had some resistance here on Friday, pretty big, significant resistance here up at the 333 level on the close. But you're going to have to watch. Get over here, controls. Yeah, you can see we're well below our moving averages here. So it's the same thesis here. So pop and fades. So if you do get a move this week here and you get above this 333.36 or the between the 333.36 and the 337.24, this 337 level here is probably going to give us some headway. But if you get above that, then you have the 20-day that you can move into 343.61 or this midline regressional trend. This Fibonacci level is 61.8% retracement. That would probably give you, this retracement level that I have here is from the high of the most recent move. So let's it's actually from the high. Uh, yeah, it's from the all-time highs here. So that is a pretty significant level here. So basically, we draw this to the low. The low is down here at call it 293, and now the market's pushing back up. So if we do push back up into this 347 level, I would not be shocked to get some resistance there, right? So we have not recouped this big speed zone yet, right? It's starting to, it's trying to, and we are making. Right now, we're looking at a weekly high here, so we are making higher highs from last week and so far higher lows. So this could be the start of something nice, right? But gotta be careful with Tesla. It can give it to you and take it away in like 2 seconds here, right? So watch. We don't have any open. We do have an open point of control of 318.58, and that was created from last Thursday, right? So watch those levels here. So 333.36, got to get above that to push into 337.24. And then this will really tell us what's going on here if we get above that, right? You can use this is pretty much the high from Friday, right? But you saw that big sell off that came there. So that's telling you that there's sellers up here at this level. So you got to watch those levels here. So as far as, right now we're below the moving averages. So my same thesis, I'm looking for, pop and fades on Tesla at this point, even though we've had a nice run off of the 293 level. It could be stalling out a little bit for us right now. So you got to watch those levels. What are we going to do for today? Today, I'm not even going to mess around with 0DTE, which means 0 days till expiration. I'm going to go right to Wednesday, which is August 12th. And on the calls, I'm going to have the 335 calls. So we'll have literally 3 days for this option to expire. So that means that your theta, you'll get some movement as the price moves here. It's probably trading at a 35 or 40 delta, which means that for every dollar the price moves up or down, this premium price will move up or down with that premium price, 34 to 40 cents. So if you buy it, so it doesn't matter where you buy and what you pay for your premium, based on the delta, it's going to move up 40 cents. So if you buy a premium here at $3.30 and it moves up, and this moves up $1, this will probably move up to $3.70, right? If this premium happened to be $7, and this moved up $1, it would move up to $7.40, right? So it's irrelevant what you pay for the premium. All that matters is how much capital you use to get into the trade. And the delta is going to tell you how much that premium price is going to move up or down, right? So it's the same thing that happens on the puts. The puts have both calls and puts have deltas on them. They have thetas. Theta is time decay, and there's other Greeks that I don't mess around with because I'm just scalping on them, right? So the gammas, if you're holding swing trades, that's impactful. But aside from that, the same concept of stands true for your puts as well. If this is trading at a 40-cent delta and this moves down $1, this is going to move up in price 40 cents. And why? Because if you think the market's going down, you buy a put. If you think the market's going up, you buy a call. It's as simple as that. So anyways, that's going to be it for today. Thanks for joining. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, hit that thumbs up button, like this video, and then go down in the description area where you can join our community, our Discord community, where I put our links in there for where you are today. We have a levels channel in there. If you want to ask me certain price levels, I'll be glad to chart those out for you. However, I will not do penny stocks. And then also, you can join our trade room where we do live trading right now from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern time. I would take advantage of that, the trading room. And then also we have our QOL ORB scalper indicator. And you can access that as well down in the links below through our WAP link. I would take advantage of the trading, people, because at some point it's going to go to just mentorship, and I'm not going to be offering it. So take advantage of it now while you still can. So again, if I don't see you in the trade room, I'll see everybody tomorrow morning. Have a great day.